Update by Sheldan Nidle for the Spiritual Hierarchy and the Galactic Federation, November 22, 2011. Dratzo. We return with more to say about your world and its divine transformation. As Gaia moves ever closer to altering your surface reality, the Agarthans are using their abilities to prevent the dark from having any hope of mounting a comeback. Right now the Agarthans have teamed up with our Earth allies and a general plan has been put into effect, the first part of which was the dismantling of the vast network of underground and deep underwater bases maintained for decades by various secret governments. This major military action has now been achieved. The Dark has lost tens of thousands of vital personnel and is denied the services of most of its exotic research scientists and technicians. Despite this, it was not until the recent arrests of mid-level personnel that the Illuminoids became really panicked. They now know that their own arrest is near. Those who have for so long managed your world see the time is rapidly approaching when each of them must face the large crowds of angry citizens they once so arrogantly manipulated. And the roundup strategy does indeed include these kings of darkness. The legal enforcement agencies of your world are currently readying legal writs pursuant to arresting thousands of individuals most closely associated with the Dark Minions' pernicious schemes. These schemes involved the devastation of your globe and the reduction of your world's peoples by nearly 90%. These myriad crimes against humanity, compiled in great detail together with tens of thousands of witnesses cited in these documents, form the legal groundwork for these mass detentions, which will be carried out in the very near future. Once done, trials similar to those of Nuremberg will begin. These are to be televised. Justice must be seen to be done, and become transparent and equitable for all. Further, the full extent of what has taken place over the past few decades needs to be made public, and this requires special handling. It is one thing to simply show the horrors of the Dark's activities, and quite another to do so in the context of explaining to humanity just how much each of you were manipulated by the Anunnaki and their Earth minions. This is to be a karma-clearing event, which will prepare you for the exposition of your true Earth history and set the stage for events that will return you to Gaia's good graces. For millennia you have been deceived by the Dark. The Anunnaki and their Dark Earth minions found it very easy to manipulate you. For example, by deviously appealing to your love of fairness and to your general need for good and brave leadership. The result was unending wars, hate campaigns, and the development of religions designed to keep war and hate in play. This carefully tuned strategy has worked like a charm to keep these Dark minions in power. Now the time has come to break this cycle and found a reality based on truth and, most of all, divine love. You have a natural, deep caring for each other and a predisposition for coming together to solve your community's problems. There are methods we can teach you that will allow you to resolve any such difficulties to the satisfaction of all. It is time to provide you with truth, facts, and technologies which will permit your communities to move forward successfully under the powerful sword of truth, love, humility, and of course, divine grace. We come to mentor your morphing societies and each of you, and this responsibility we gladly take on. We know that after a brief period of preparation you are to be returned to your former state of full consciousness, and so we regard this mentoring time as a grand teaching moment. You are to learn many things that may at first be quite shocking to you, but it needs to be done. Nearly 900,000 years ago you arrived on this world fully conscious and ready to do your part in maintaining this most sacred world. You also spread out to the other water worlds and together created a magnificent star nation. The time comes for you to repeat this wonderful legacy and once more forge a grand star nation. Your Agarthan brethren await your reunion with them, and so the time comes for action. Blessings. We are your ascended masters. Around this beautiful world of yours a great rise in consciousness is taking shape. The Dark's guns, police brutality, and even the use of blatant lies cannot stop this grand awakening. This growing global movement desires freedom, personal sovereignty, and prosperity for all. It does not buy into the dire warnings of monetary collapse or the threat of new wars which continuously reverberates around your globe. This movement is spiritual and it seeks peace and a new era of global cooperation. We are most impressed with its adherents' courage and persistence. These ones are destined to achieve their goals. We are supporting their staunch efforts by applying ever heavier pressure to have the Dark's minions abdicate their positions of power. We are confident that the time for these actions approaches and that the divine right time for a massive shift in your reality is upon you. This shift has been greatly boosted by the quantities of new energy flowing in ever-increasing amounts into your world. Your reality is collapsing and now desperately needs to redo itself into something quite different from what you now know. This need for change produces large earthquakes that have rocked your societies over the past half-decade, and more is expected unless you change the way your societies interact with Gaia. She is most respectful of your intentions and deeply wishes you to somehow reciprocate. She knows that only a drastic change in governance and general attitude can bring about this much-needed transformation. She sees this potential in your rising consciousness and heartily cheers you on. We also seek your victory and a full, kind, loving relationship with Gaia and her amazing spiritual entourage. The new energies are bringing forth a new reality which is a coup de grace for the Dark Ones, who realize more and more clearly that their fall is at hand. They are engaged simply in a holding action whose coherence weakens by the day. Moves are afoot to oust them from power, bring their injurious actions into the light of public scrutiny, and themselves to justice. Our sacred associates have personnel in place to man the new designate governments and the resources to ensure their success. What we all continue to wait upon is the divine right time chosen for us by heaven. This coming time is to be a glorious present for humanity and the prologue to the mass landings and full consciousness. These are exciting times. From all of us, we bring you blessings and divine grace. The era of light is upon us all. Today, we carried on our discussion of the many changes happening around your world. They are merely a beginning to what you are to experience shortly. We rejoice in all that is transpiring and eagerly anticipate the moment of disclosure and the start of first contact. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of heaven are indeed yours. So be it. Selamat Gajan. Selamat Ya. Syrian for be one. And be enjoy.